Vikings were historical people from Scandinavia in northern Europe, who are well known today for their adventures in the West. These merchant warriors made their way to Eastern Europe, where they assisted in forming a medieval federation in what is now Belarus, Ukraine, and Russia. Vikings established Kiev and Rus in the mid-9th century, but Scandinavian settlements in Eastern Europe date back to at least AD 750. This is when pre-Viking Age Scandinavians are most likely to have settled in northwestern Russia. Ukraine and Russia share a history dating back to the Kievan Rus, a medieval Viking federation that ruled from Novgorod in the north and Kiev in the south. The name Kievan Rus meant Rusland. Rus is the root of the term Russia. Although sections of current Ukraine, the eastern regions, remained under Imperial Russia for a few hundred years, the rest of the country's geography in medieval times belonged to the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, the Kingdom of Poland, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire at various times. In the late 1600s, the Ottoman Empire had vassals in the west bank of the Dnieper River and the Khanate of Crimea. The histories and cultures of the two countries are entwined in a web of peoples, wars, conquests, and religions that many Russians and others find difficult to comprehend. Ukraine is traditionally Russian. However, the Vikings are responsible for the formation of Ukraine as a political entity, with Prince Oleg the Prophet overseeing the biggest expansion of the Federation. Norsemen, mostly Rus from ROSLAGEN in the eastern coastal Sweden, arrived in Novgorod in the 9th century CE, possibly in response to an appeal for help or as raiding groups. Rurik I founded the Rurikid dynasty at Novgorod. Rurik's successor, Oleg of Novgorod, took Kiev. This dynasty would govern for 700 years until Ivan the Terrible, Russia's first Tsar, came to power in the 16th century, between 1237 and 1242. Until the late 10th century, when Vladimir the Great came to power and introduced Christianity, Kievan Rus was largely pagan. A bargain between Vladimir and the Byzantine Empire resulted in the conversion. Under the tenure of Vladimir's son, Yaroslav I, also known as Yaroslav the Wise, who began the construction of the St. Sophia Cathedral in Novgorod. This cultural and economic progress undoubtedly peaked. The Crusades added to the unrest, and when the Mongols entered in the 13th century. Weak and split, Kievan Rus saw its end, and the end of an era in Eastern Europe. Like and share if you enjoyed today's video. If you want to learn more about Vikings, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so that you do not miss any videos from us.